Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. On the screen today, you're going to be watching a TDM that I got here on Showdown in COD 4. And 17 minutes ago, from the time that I'm recording this, Michael Condrey posted in the COD World War II Reddit addressing the ADS timeout of sprint. As always, this link will be in the description so you can read it and read the comments and, do whatever. But I'm just gonna read it out here and then kind of give you my thoughts. So he says right here, in past Call of Duty games, the dexterity perk made the ADS time out of sprint faster, in some cases 50% faster than without dexterity. This made it a crutch perk and by far the most used perk in those games. We initially had a basic training that offered this functionality, but found that it was once again being chosen much more often than other options presented. When there's a crutch perk like this, it results in a non-choice for players since they feel they need to take that perk or basic training just to be competitive. This problem was exacerbated with our Division CAC system, which promotes a more focused playstyle through a sole, meaningful basic training choice rather than a multi-choice pick system. So basically what he's trying to say is that, when you're playing, like, for example, Black Ops 2 had dexterity. Yeah, it's like, it was such a good perk that you had to use it. Or look at, COD 4, for example, stopping power. It was such a good perk that you had to use it. Modern Warfare 2, stopping power, same thing. So, and then you could even throw in like dead silence. Say you're playing Search and Destroy, dead silence. It was such a good and useful perk that you had to use it. So next paragraph here. Additionally, a main design pillar we had in this game was boots on the ground in a World War II era. That meant more than just not having boost jump and an arsenal of speed buffs. It also meant a return to an overall more strategic and slower pace of conflict. The removal of boost also gave us predictable places from which threats could appear and a more consistent closing speed between players. The question for us became, do we want a crutch perk that also makes the gameplay faster? Our answer was no. So I guess like they're kind of saying where, with the old games, it's like the movement was much faster and, they didn't just want to take the jetpacks out and just put faster movement for like the player models. Given that, we decided to make the ADS time out of sprint the same as a normal ADS time and not offer a means to make it faster. We do have the quick draw attachment, which makes ADS speed faster across the board, and as you can imagine, it's super popular. I don't know about all that, but I mean, hey, they think it's popular. A dexterity perk plus quick draw attachment crutch combo just didn't work for our design ambitions and game feel for World War II. So, I kind of get what he's saying, where it's like they don't want to see, like, if they did have, say, call it dexterity, like, we'll just call it that, where they didn't want people to use dexterity and quick draw because it would be so good to where there wouldn't be any variety. Like, everybody would be using the same thing. Just like, look at Modern Warfare 2. Everybody use Scavenger, Stopping Power, Ninja, or Sleight of Hand, Stopping Power, Ninja. You know what I mean? It's like, so there wasn't much variety. We have discussed a buff to ADS sprint out times for Airborne, but we already have an SMG heavy meta, and we're not convinced that it's the best option for the game. I don't think a dexterity basic training is either. Perhaps a new movement focused division with other trade-offs built in will be a future option. And then he says, don't hold us to that because, like they could add, a DLC division, but, maybe not. It's probably up in the air right now. So, I mean, it was worth a shot. We did kind of, like it, at least we got it to their attention. And then, I guess they decided that they're going to go against what the quote unquote community wants. I guess you can call it that. Because, they just don't want it to be in their game. Simple as that. I mean, I don't necessarily agree with that because, like, a lot of people want this change, and even like I'm not telling you to add dexterity to a game. Just make the sprint out time a little faster. Don't don't cut the time in half. Just, you know, make it a little faster for, you know, SMGs or, you know, pistols, like the lightweight weapons. And then, you know, it's just like, because if you're a developer and you want people to continue playing your game, it's like you're gonna do what the community wants in order for people to, you know, like your game and stuff like that. It's, you know, I've said this before, and it's a perfect example in Fortnite. You know, Fortnite, like I said, they had the grenade that made you dance, and people were complaining that it was too strong or that it lasted for too long. And, you know, the developers patched it because a bunch of people said, like, the duration of it is like it lasts too long. And then they said, all right, we want people to continue playing our game, so we're gonna fix it. Because when you keep putting out, like, when you put out a good product, or when you stay up to date, like, with your products, if you want to call it that, that's gonna bring people back. And I'm sure they want people to continue playing their game. Like, I don't know of any developer that puts out a game and they don't want people to play it. Like, that doesn't make sense. So, I mean, you know, it is kind of like, I get what they're saying, because, you know, like I said, then there would be no variety at all. Everybody would just use PPSH with, say it was an attachment, with dexterity, quick draw, and grip, you know, and then with mountain and inconspicuous, or hustle, or infantry and espionage, or STG, or anything like that. And, you know, then you would see even less variety than you see now. So it's like, I get what they're saying, but at the end of the day, it's, if you want people to continue playing your game, or if you want people to, you know, like, do something, it's, you kind of have to put your personal opinions aside for that, and, you know, kind of give the people what they want. I'm not saying to, like, be a pushover, but just kind of give the people, you know, like, a few things that they want, but then, you know, keep a few things back. And because then you're in like a good middle ground. But I mean, you know, for the time being right now, you know, as he said, there's going to be no change to the sprint out time, and, you know, that's that. But yeah, I just wanted to share this quick update. As always, thank you everybody for taking the time out of your day to watch my video. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you in the next one.